This is a message to all my supporters of this podcast. I'm introducing a new supporters program. You can contribute a small amount as a one-off payment to show your love for this podcast. Thank you in advance for all your contributions.
Hi, my name's Mark Hayward. I am on the Absolute Business Mindset podcast. I want to talk to you today about a subject which is incredibly important. They're the sort of building blocks. If anyone is a procrastinator or someone who doesn't like planning their day or struggles to keep them up to date when they're trying to plan what they need to do for the hour, day, week, whatever it is, this is just a couple of top tips that will help you be able to control it and not feel out of control. So what I'm going to suggest is that when you're trying to plan out your day and your week, it's important to have a to-do list because there's no way of monitoring what needs to be done. So it is important that you're able to list out the things that you need to do, and there's different techniques. Brian Tracy has a technique. My mentor has a technique. I'm not going to go into massive detail about your list of things that need to be done because that's not what I'm aiming at. But there's different techniques of being able to plan it out, and it is important that whether you do it on the computer or whether it's using pen and paper, you're able to catalogue and make sure you remember everything that needs to be done. So the technique that I'm going to talk about today is everyone has meetings in their diary, whether you're someone who is a serial meeting person or whether you have them rarely. What we're going to talk about today is adding something into your diary for deep work. So it can be done for two ways. It can be deep work or it can be a reminder. But you add some time in your diary. It could be something you need to do sometime in the day. So often we do software releases and I might put a reminder in my diary for me and other people at 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever it is, so that we know that we need to do that in the day. That is a prompt and a reminder, and it might be fairly basic stuff, but some people out there I'm hoping are going to say, wow, I never thought of actually doing that. And this is only with experience and sort of working in a corporate environment for some time that you realise that these sorts of things are important. And the other thing is to block off time to stop other meetings entering in, or phone calls or Skypes or whatever the mechanism that you do to communicate with people, and you block that time out. Hold a second. Sorry. You block that time out, and that gives you space to be able to do some deep learning. So it's deep work basically. So say you have to do a report, say you have to do I did recently a software upload into a system, so I knew that there would be some pushback on some errors, so I blocked out 2 hours of my morning, which really just stops that problem of a quick meeting, a quick call. And you can plan that out in up to probably a week or so, if you have a particular deadline that you need to make. So it kind of there's always going to be people that will come up to your desk or instant message you and say, I need to speak to you. But it's always happened, people on phone calls. You can always get that. Now, I would suggest, I don't do this, but it depends if you really need to do deep work, then maybe you switch off your instant messaging and your phone, which stops also notifications from social media and things like that. Stops all of that. And it means that you can work deeply on a subject. I wrote a report recently and blocked some time out in the afternoon to be able to do it because I knew I needed space, I needed time to think, I needed time to organise my thoughts on something that was incredibly important. So it's a technique that you might well know of, but I'm really advocating it here because I really think it's really important that everyone uses that technique of giving yourself space and time to think about something deeply. And it's important that you do this because if you've got deadlines and you're being constantly interrupted, I mentioned at the start being a procrastinator, so also that can be a reason to block their time off, because if you're always putting something off to tomorrow, You might miss deadlines, you might miss important milestones in your project, you might just miss a delivery date. So it can be used for any number of different people on different levels, but I think it's one of those that's a very basic one, but it's a real building block that can be used for greater things at a later stage in your career. So try it out. By all means, give me feedback on what you think of it. You can check me out on Twitter, Mark Hayward169. Obviously, the Absolute Business Mindset podcast I've got here. There is a private group on Facebook called Absolute Business Mindset. I would welcome your thoughts and comments on that. And I've just joined Patreon, Patreon. It's a website which I'd encourage you to check out if you're a creator or you're a creator of content, whether it's music or spoken word. You can get people's patronage for doing these sorts of things. So I would say please log on, please sign up, and please contribute. It will be most welcomed. That's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.